Hi there, it's Smithia Ford with Renal Diet HQ, and I'm coming to you live today. I wanted to talk about explaining your renal diet, your new renal diet, to your friends and family. Maybe you just got diagnosed, or maybe you have had it for a little while, but you really haven't talked to anybody. And I want to talk about some of those conversations that you might have with your friends or family, that a little bit of way to make them a little easier. Your kidney diet can be or your renal diet can be a pretty big overhaul. Maybe you've been diabetic, but now all of a sudden you're watching your protein, you're watching your salt, or maybe you didn't have any concerns before, but suddenly you had kidney cancer and you had a kidney removed, and now you have to watch your diet. So I want to go through some of these because it can be a big change. This is kind of a guide for how those conversations can go and for how you can explain things to your friends and family easier. So I want to encourage you, number one, to provide an opportunity for questions. So when your friends or family have questions, they may feel uncertain about asking you, first of all. And so I want you to think, encourage them, say, if you have questions about it, ask me, or let me know what you want, what sort of questions you have. They may be afraid to bring it up. They may not be sure how to talk about it. Maybe they've Googled some things, but they aren't really sure. So just encourage them when you tell them about it to ask you some questions, and that you're perfectly fine with that if they have any questions. Number two is to discuss social occasions. So when you're talking about like going to events or going out, just explain to them, if you don't want them to invite you out to dinner for a couple months, but then maybe after that, I know at first it can be a little hard to eat out on a kidney diet, but you don't necessarily have to stop eating out. You just maybe need a little bit of time to adjust. Maybe you want to learn a few more things. You want to see how your labs do with what you're doing at home. So maybe you just encourage them, hey, I don't really want to go out to eat with you for social occasions, but I can come over and, enjoy food at the house. And that's just good to help you figure this all out. So number 1, 2, 3, let them know that you might bring your own food. So even if they invite you over to their house, you might bring something that as a dish to a potluck or whatever that you can eat, that is healthy. You might even encourage, discussing with them if they invite you over, saying, hey, here's a few of the things that I'd rather not eat, or watch the amount of salt in foods, that type of thing that they may not realize is pretty significant. Sometimes it's easier if you just bring your own kidney-friendly diet options, instead of making them feel like they have to redo the whole menu and make it salt-free, and they maybe aren't used to preparing those types of things. So in that case, I would just encourage you to tell them, hey, I'll just bring my own snacks or food, and that might make them a little more comfortable too. It's also important, maybe I'm on 5. It's also important to let them figure it out a little bit. So you don't have to explain the whole thing. You don't have to go into all the details. You don't even have to share your lab work with them. You may just encourage them to go to some good websites like renaldiethq.com or other websites that provide information, not that maybe are some government, Mayo Clinic or National Kidney Foundation, kidney.org. You can encourage them to go to those type of websites to learn more about the kidney disease concerns and issues that you will have. And that way they can come with more questions. Maybe they have some questions after they figure some of those things out. But if they care enough and they want to learn more about it, tell them good places to go to learn more. I know that it's a huge change to find out you have kidney disease, to start following the changes, and you may not always realize that your friends and family would like to know more, would like to be helpful, but they don't necessarily know what to do. So this is a way that you can encourage them to ask questions, know that you're going to make some changes, that you're going to maybe bring your own food sometimes. You're going to need a little bit of, maybe you want to eat at a little different restaurant than you always have eaten at, because you can make a few more adjustments to your meal. But all those things your friends and family can help you with, and that family support is huge. And so I would just encourage you to bring them into the fold and let them know, hey, it's not a touchy subject. This is not walking on eggshells. I am glad to talk about it, and I'm glad to help you to learn more about it. So that's what I wanted to share today. Thank you so much. I've been so busy working on the Understanding Kidney Test Results course, and everybody's in there now and working on it, and so I really love that. But I also just wanted to share with you some thoughts today about how you can explain your new kidney diet to your friends. So thanks. Have a great day. Leave any comments below, and I will answer them when I see them. Thanks.